We were talking a little bit yesterday about the role of the designer within companies. And I think you hit on quite an interesting point where you thought maybe it would be beneficial for designers to move around and spend other time in other departments. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what the thinking is there?
Yeah, for me, now, let's say, having a little bit experience in the business, I realized for myself that, wandering when you do a proper career inside of a car company, you will always find certain types of engineers are able to move around, or it doesn't have to be the engineers, but sometimes they are the assistant of the CEO, or they are the assistant of the CTO. So in the end of the day, in my opinion, if I could be 20 years younger, and whoever is listening now to this video, if you are a young designer, usually you're looking for the next carrot. So the first carrot is, I want to design a detail on a car. The next is, I want to design a car. The next is, I want to do a show car. So everyone is having this, yeah. And then, like in sport, you are in this one way, focused all the time to realize something, yeah. But as I said, if I could be younger, I would recommend and empower the who has this feeling to do a sidestep, to do maybe a job rotation, maybe a year in product planning, or maybe a year in finance, or maybe a year somewhere else in the company, in the production, for example, because it will make you more smart. You will get experience, and then after that, I believe that you can have then also more opportunities in the future. Because in design, let's face it, you are a young designer, then you get experienced. You are, we are all, let's say, creative minds, yeah. So in the end of the day, management skills or leadership skills is something we have to learn, we have to experience, and so on. So if you do these side steps, you will grow more, you will get more experience, and I think you will create more value being a designer inside of the company.
I think it's a really interesting point. I don't think it's been touched on before, but do you think that maybe this could come from a structural change? Do you think companies should look at this idea as seriously and maybe reorganize slightly around what design?
I think it takes both. It takes both sides. First, the designer, because again, I know myself. You are hungry for a success story, and the success story of a car designer is that you create cars, no? So, and because this is then obviously your, let's say, portfolio or your proof what you did, yeah. So, but the years pass by, yeah, and so it takes a bit of courage, because I can imagine, it's like when you are in MotoGP or when you are in sport, you don't want to leave, no Formula One driver, or very few, take a year of sabbatical and come back.
No, that's true. No.
Everyone, and this is the same with design. So you don't want to take the sabbatical, or it's not a sabbatical, but to do the sidestep, because you are maybe afraid that you are losing the game. That's why, this is you need to decide for yourself if it makes sense. So this takes one side. On the other side, for sure, at the moment, there is absolutely, I think, no experience within the brands. So to, because the path, the development path like this for a designer is not, as far as I know, no one ever did this. Yeah, but again, is my recommendation for the future, because in the end of the day, with experience, not everyone can be the chief designer. Not everyone can be take a leadership position inside. No, so but you want to have a career that is, I don't know, finishing with 65 years. That you hopefully reach. Yeah. So.
One final question, Misha. You're well known for your sketching. You sketch a lot. I've seen you sketch live events while I was talking to you, actually, where it's almost like as a side thing you were just sketching. How important do you think, in a world of AI and very, very clever digital tools, is the sketch for you? Because I know it's something that you do all the time, but I wonder what it means into 2026.
For me, still in 2026, and I strongly believe also in 36 or 46, I think sketching is like breathing air into the lungs of a designer. Yeah. So for me, it's important to, I don't know, for sure, a lot of car design enthusiasts maybe are watching this video, for sure, but also some maybe they're not so much expert in design. For me, it's important. Design, creativity starts always with an idea, with this, you know, in my case, a lot of times in the morning under the shower. You know, the first and easiest and cheapest, by the way is to sketch something down. Yeah. So, and then the way from the spark to the sketch to the realization now with AI, you know, because we are all impatient people, especially myself, you want to see the result as soon as possible. So instead to have the sketch and then the Photoshop and then the alias and then to mill and you see the model then, I don't know, in 2 months these days now, and this is now an acceleration in the design process that is unbelievable. From the sketch, for sure, very soon we will have, you know, in AI, not only quick renderings that again you also need to still manipulate or improve with Photoshop or whatever. So AI is a tool, but very soon this tool will become a 3D tool. It will also, for example, this is a good news, it will give time to the alias modelers that are today sweating because, you know, some designer is sitting on their shoulder saying, yeah, but, you know, complaining because the feeling is not in and whatever. Yeah? So this will be automatically solved because I think AI will create you very soon a 3D thing. And then you should have everywhere 3D printers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this is the biggest pleasure that I have. My team is then you know, has implemented AI in all the process, and then by surprise in the morning I will find a small 3D printed model on my desk, and then already having maybe the first Teams meeting, I can already study because, you know, with our experience, we can already study if the proportion is good, if the overhangs are good, and so on. So the acceleration of the design process is something that I find incredibly astonishing.
Is it a good time to be a car designer at the moment, do you think, Mitchell?
I think so. I hope so. Let's say I'm staying optimist. I see also the clouds, of course. Yeah. So again, we have now this wave of AI. So I'm totally convinced that if you just look at the wave, you will be, you know, underwater very soon. So that's why I always prefer to, you know, to already accelerate swimming, that I'm surfing the wave. Car design, I don't know. I mean, for sure, every decade had better days or maybe not so well day. I don't know. You know, in the 60s there was the entire freedom, so you had all these, you know, cars, dream cars without any limit. Yeah? These days, or at least in the, let's say, the last 25 years, you know, coming from the Pforzheim University, let's say, era, I have seen so many brands that had extended their product portfolio. No? So from coupes to SUVs and crossover and whatever. Yeah. So it seems that at the moment the industry is a little bit shrinking down, reducing complexity, which means is of course a reduction of creativity. So I say yes and no. I mean, it's you know, for sure, as long as Lamborghini and all the fantastic super sports car brands exist, I think there's still you know, great cars to be done also in the future. And also I believe in all the OEMs and all the business there. Everyone, you know, is understood that design is important. You have chief design officers almost everywhere. So design is important. When technology becomes more comparable, design becomes important. But again, I want to convince everyone we need to, with all the new tools, we need to surf on the wave. And then we will have a beautiful future, I think.